Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to episode 5. Welcome to episode 5 of the Core Growth Podcast. I'm your host, Aaron, of course. And yeah, it's episode 5. We've got a lot of interesting things to talk about. There's some good topics coming up soon. I'll be honest about that before this episode starts. Well, at least interesting to me. Okay, at least it's interesting to me, and I should be getting some guests on quite soon, and yeah, we're gonna have a blast, and I hope you have a blast listening to the podcast. I hope you've been enjoying the podcast. The 5th episode marks the 2nd month of this podcast's existence, which is exciting. That's a milestone. And yeah, it's been such a wonderful ride so far, and I'm very keen to see what lies ahead. All right. With all that being said, episode 5 is about having goals and facing challenges. And I talk about my personal experiences with these things and kind of my change, my growth, and yeah, like where I started and kind of what led me to the changes that I've made and the kind of mindset that I've developed, let's say. Okay. All right. All that being said and done, let's get right into these questions, shall we? Awesome. Okay. So, what are goals? What the hell are they? A pretty simple question, right? But it can be used in the wrong ways, let's say. Like like squad goals, relationship goals, all that crap. I feel like it's not exactly the best thing. That's from my point of view. I'll be clear on that. But okay, yeah. What are goals? And I will kind of explain it in the way that I understand it. So goals are essentially milestones, checkpoints, or finish lines that we kind of put in our lives in regards to different aspects and different avenues of our life. And they generally follow the path of progression, right? Progression in maybe learning something or achieving something. I mean, I guess it's all like an achievement, right? When you hit a certain milestone, but yeah. Like, say if it's learning an instrument, learning a song, or making making a certain number for I don't know, some sort of physical challenge, some sort of physical test, hitting a certain number, like maybe running 5Ks, running 10Ks, 15, 20, or even running one. Yeah. All of them can be seen as like an end goal or can be seen as just a milestone. Or a checkpoint, let's say. And yeah, that's kind of how I see what goals are in the way I see things in life. Now the next one, what are challenges? And how do I understand challenges? Now, for me, the way I understand challenges, it's to put it simply, it's like an obstacle, something that's getting in the way of your progression, and potentially something that will back you into a corner. And it is something that you may or may not have to fight back against. Something you might have to go around. But yeah, it's, to put it simply, an obstacle. Just something that interferes with your progression. Something that interferes with your growth, or with whatever it is that you're trying to do. Now, what are the differences? Plural. There's more than one. But yeah, what is the difference between the both of them? What is the difference between goals and the difference between challenges? Okay. So yeah, goals are more of an internal thing, where I hope it's more of an internal thing, because I feel like there are definitely going to be, like, there's coaches or people that like a professional in some sort of avenue that will set goals for you. But for the most part, I'm looking at this as more of an internal thing, as in, like, no external whatever. But yeah, so goals are more of an internal thing. And the way I see it, it's more of a fight against yourself. And with challenges, it's more of a fight with an external force, external factor, variable, whatever you'd want to call it. And yeah, so with goals, we tend to, it's something that we have control over. It's something that we decide. And it's something that shouldn't, like, honestly, it's something that shouldn't come as a surprise. If you make goals, it's kind of like, you plan it out, and you kind of work your way towards whatever it is that you're going towards. And yeah, with challenges, it's very, very external. It's things you don't have control over. Circumstances, environments, people, even, could definitely be people. Yeah, a lot of things that we just don't have control over. Not that we should have control over it, or that we shouldn't. It's just that we don't have control over it. And yeah, like, all right, so those are the, I guess, like, the main differences that I see with these things, from the way I think and the way I view these things, right? The way I view goals and view challenges. That's kind of my understanding. And okay, next question. Why should we think of these things? Why should we think of having goals? Why should we think of facing challenges? Well, in terms of the challenges, I believe it is absolutely necessary to at least think of facing challenges. Otherwise, you'd just be in the same place, the same headspace, and not having change at all. At least, there's no changing for the better. There's no positive thing that's kind of coming out. There's no increase in whatever. And yeah, for me, I spoke about it in episode 2, I believe, about, fulfillment. I spoke about it a little bit. But yeah, I personally, I'm afraid of that. So I would much rather not, not sit and make no progress whatsoever. I would much rather make some progress. Not for myself, but, for the people around me that depend on me, as well as the people that support me, because I feel like I owe it to them to support them as well. And yeah, so in terms of goals, it's a way of, or at least why we should think of these things. It's a way to kind of keep track of yourself. I mean, aside from these things being important, which is the next kind of question, why it's important. But yeah, like it's a great way to keep track of where you're at, and kind of how would I explain it? Kind of yeah, like assess where you're at. And kind of gauge where you need to go, and how well you're doing, how better you could be doing, or how bad you're doing. Like you can gauge all these different things by, having goals, having milestones, and all these kinds of things. Now, next question. Why are they important? Why is having goals and why is facing challenges important? I kind of explained just then. But yeah, they like I said, with goals, you are able to understand kind of where you're at better, as well as understand yourself as well. Now that I think about it, you're able to understand your capacity. You're able to understand who you are more as a person by knowing and getting to understand where your limits truly are. Yeah. And it's definitely helpful in order to, know your strengths and know your weaknesses. And all right, so why is facing challenges important? To learn. To put it very bluntly, facing challenges is to learn. There is a huge opportunity to learn from facing challenges. It doesn't matter what form it comes in. A challenge is something that like I said, you either fight against or you work around. And if it's something that you've never faced before, then you're obviously going to have to think about how you're going to confront whatever it is that's in front of you. You're going to have to think, you're going to have to learn, you're going to have to adapt. So yeah, that involves planning. That involves a lot of, I guess, risk management. Whether it's truly worth confronting or whether it's worth going around. Like, there's a lot of different things to kind of think about with these things. And yeah, to be able to learn these things from, these experiences and these negative things that we see in our lives, we can learn a lot. We can really, really learn a lot from all these different things. Okay, so next question. Why should we put goals in our lives? And why should we face challenges in our lives? I mean, it kind of ties into why we should think of them, why it's important. But yeah. In order to, I guess, progress, really, we do need to have goals, right? We do need to face challenges, because with goals comes challenges. Um, even with the relationship goals, all right, even with the squad goals, with those goals, even challenges will come up with those goals, whether it's fake or whether it's real. Relationship or squad goals, whether those things are fake or whether it's real, challenges will come no matter what, in any shape, in any form. No one is free from reality. No one is free from the brutal reality of these things. And yeah, we need to face these things in life, to learn, to grow, to change for the better, but also to understand that it's not for ourselves. At least for myself, that's how I see it. That I do all these things not for myself. Because if I truly did things for myself, I wouldn't be doing them at all. But yeah, I mean, yeah, the way I see it, I'll kind of explain. Geez, where to begin? So yeah, like, for me, my growth, at least the way I see it, having goals and facing challenges, I do these things because people depend on me, because people rely on me, and because people support me. And I feel like if I didn't do these things, I'd be letting them down. And I wouldn't be reliable. Yeah, because I owe it to the people that are around me, and I mean my friends, my family, as well as my future. Right? My future friends, or whatever, my future family, future relationships, and present relationships, to put it simply. I owe it to all these people, to people I may or may not have met yet. I owe it to them to do my best that I can right now. And yeah, I gotta learn. I gotta learn, whether it be the easy way or the hard way. I gotta learn. And yeah, my end goal is, to be the best I can be, and to be the best support I can be. Whether I be a foundation for someone or whether I be a pillar for someone in their lives. As long as I'm able to be helpful. And as for myself, that's why I think I should face goals. That's why I think I should that's why I think I should have goals, and that's why I think I should face challenges. I swapped it around for a second. But yeah, for myself, that's why I think I should. And as for why we all should, as a collective, as a society, I feel like it'll help us understand each other better as well. Help us understand, like someone else's capability, someone else's mindset, someone else's motivation, someone else's drive, and understanding someone else's why, like the why of why they do things. And I kind of just spoke about the why of why I do things, the why to why I face goals. I did it again. The why to why I have goals and face challenges. Yeah. We can learn a lot We can learn a lot from the experiences of others, from the state of others, like where they're at right now. And yeah, there's truly a lot to learn. There's truly a lot to learn from a lot of these different things in regards to, like the past of someone, the past experiences of someone, and how they got to where they're at. There is a lot of value to be had from anyone and everyone that has gone through a lot of these different things. Now, next question. What has it done for me in my own life? What has having goals and facing challenges done for me in my own life? Great question. I wrote these questions. Oh man. But so these things have done a lot for me. Like I gave examples of earlier, of understanding yourself and being able to know where your limits are, and being able to know your strengths and your weaknesses. I truly learned a lot. I truly learned a lot about what I'm about, and what drives me, what motivates me. And I learned why. I learned why I do things. And I learned and kind of established a reason as to why I do things. And from me establishing the why, from me establishing the reason as to why I do things, it's made me become a much better person, to say the least. It's made me become how would I say this? It's just made me grow. It's just made me grow. And it's a very valuable experience. Very valuable experience. For me to be able to push my limits both physically and mentally, it's been truly rewarding. Truly. And my friends see it, my family sees it, and I intend on going even further in terms of my goals, in terms of the challenges I face. I need to do a lot better. I need to do a lot better than I already have been. Not that I'm doing great, not that I'm doing good, not that I'm doing well. I'm doing decent. I'm kind of like average. And yeah, if I want to be doing great, then I got to step up my game. But I can say for a fact, without any doubt whatsoever, that I've changed. I've absolutely changed after these goals, after these challenges. I've changed. I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot of things about myself and about others. And I can't wait. I can't wait to continue going down this path. As exhausting as it is, I would not take any other path. This path is the most enjoyable one. But yeah, I also learned how to be more positive, how to smile in the face of adversity, how to laugh, how to I mean, how to laugh also, in the face of these negative situations and these challenges. I mean, I laugh a lot anyway, to, some really dumb things I might add. But, yeah, I learned how to be as positive as I could be in any given situation. And trust me, it's exhausting. It's exhausting trying to stay positive out of it, like for every situation. Um, Even recently, there's something that happened that I cannot talk about, unfortunately for you. But I do try to smile. I do try to laugh it off. Not to ignore it or not to like take away from the weight of it, but to kind of give myself some breathing room, and yeah, to not make a situation any worse than what it already is for myself. And I try to learn. I try to learn from it. It's hard though. It's really hard. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it whatsoever. It is really difficult. It is really difficult to be in a situation and smile about it. To be in a horrible situation and laugh about it, and to immediately, shift from a negative situation and thinking about it negatively, to shift from that to immediately trying to learn something from it. It is exhausting, but it is absolutely worth it. At least for myself, that's how I've seen it. Where I don't look at things negatively. Not always, anyway. I try to be as positive as possible for any given situation. I try to, yeah, I try to learn. I try to learn from these different things. And I try my best to stay true to that, because it is, like I said, it is really, really bloody exhausting. Oh my lord, is it exhausting. It is so easy to get drained out of, out of all these different things, out of every situation that comes crashing your way. It's like it comes and goes in waves. Um and yeah, it always does, and it always has been, and it always will. All these different things, the goals, the challenges, all these things come and go in waves. Sometimes it'll be really chill, it'll be really easy, but a storm can brew and you can get battered. You can get absolutely battered with the waves, man. I mean, I can say that for myself. The waves hit hard. Some waves hit really hard. Some barely, some barely do anything. But oh dear lord, some, oh man. Oh dude, some send me straight to the rocks. Um but yeah. Um like I said, it's not easy, at least for myself and where I'm at. It's not easy to be as positive as possible. At least for me, my inner child, it comes naturally, but because my inner childlike personality is only kind of just starting to come back out, it's still real. Oh man, it's still really difficult, and yeah, it is really exhausting, really draining. um yeah, facing all these problems, all these circumstances, all these different situations. But there's no better way to go about things than to smile about it, to laugh about it, to have fun with it. Because if you don't have fun with it, then it'll just stay as a negative thing. At least that's the way I saw it. If I don't learn how to laugh about a negative situation, it'll just always stay as a negative situation, and it'll just be a negative memory that's never changing. When I have so much power to make something negative into something positive, why not? Why let it stay negative? Because in all honesty, I've wasted so much of my life letting things stay negative when I absolutely had the power to make things positive. Yeah. And all right, moving to the next question, which kind of ties into this. Um, what was I like before these thoughts and before these decisions? Before having goals, before facing challenges? What was I like? I was lost. I was lost. And I was someone that had very, very low self esteem. I had a lot of self hate. I definitely mentioned that over the past couple episodes. I had so much. It's unbearable. Um, and I thought negatively about everything, about anything and everything. But I masked it very, very well, it seems, because I would also not really tell anyone about the things I'd be going through. And yeah, it was just a lot of different things for me, and I was easily overwhelmed. I It's, oh man, hard to think about it, but I do remember being really negative. I had such a negative outlook towards myself. Um, and why? It's because I always felt as if I wasn't good enough. Because I wasn't doing anything. Because I wasn't changing. And I was just staying the same. And this was me throughout my entire high school life, even after high school. Like I said, this change only came recently to me. Yeah, I had way too many negative feelings towards myself. And I owe it to my family. I owe it to my friends and my family that helped me get out of that. They truly made an impact on me and made me feel worth the time, worth the effort, worth everything. I truly feel as if I'm worth the world to these people. And they truly mean the world to me as well. And yeah, so moving on to the next one as to what I'm like now. I mean, I'm sure you can kind of get a general idea as to what I'm like now, what I'm like these days. Yeah, I'm overall just in a better place. Overall, in a better headspace. I'm in better, I'm in a better mental state. Physical state, not so much, but overall, it's a lot better than it was before. Not in high school though. I was pretty fit in high school. I'm not gonna lie. But you know what? There's still hope to getting that Marvel body. Oh man, I aspire to have a Marvel body. But you know what? It's cool. I'll get there eventually. It'll take time. Yeah, what I'm like now. Like I said, you can get a general idea. I'm a lot more open to my oddities and my weirdness and my craziness. I'm not as afraid as I used to be of letting that out and being open and expressive about it. I'm like I've always said to like my friends that I'm a weird guy, but I don't really let it out that often. Um, but here I am. Here I am letting everyone know that I am a weird guy. And it's true. I am a weird guy. And I believe I said something about accents in one of the previous episodes. And yes, for someone like myself doing a lot of accents and impressions, it does make me feel like I'm a really weird guy. But that's kind of why I want to go into voice acting. Um, but yeah, there we go. There it is. Yeah, overall a lot more happier these days, despite the circumstances that I'm in, that my family's in, that my friends are in, that I'm in. Yeah, I'm generally a lot more happier, and a lot more appreciative of the time that I have, of the people that I have around me, whether they're close people to me or not close people. Um, yeah, I I really love that about myself now, as well as love everyone else. And yeah, I'm really grateful. That's another thing. I've been really grateful uh, a, a lot recently. For yeah, for my friends, for my family, for everything, for the time that we have. Um, for the time that I have to be making the podcast, for the time that you have to be listening to the podcast, for the lives that I live, lives for the life that I live and the lives that we all live. I'm catching myself a lot today. For some reason, I am just slipping on words. It's probably the weather. Um, but yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at right now, what I'm like right now. Um, and okay, so next point. How did I apply these things? So, how did I apply having goals and facing challenges to my life? Oh, oh, man. I gotta think real hard about this one. Even though I wrote the question, I really didn't think about it. Oh man, just like high school, far out. Oh dear lord, no, not that can of worms. Okay. So, how did I apply having goals? How did I apply facing challenges? Hmm. Now, the simplest way and the easiest way. Okay, maybe not the easiest way, but simplest way um was working out. It was the the most quick the most quick. No, is that the right word? English is not my strong point, even though it's my first and only language. um it's the quickest way to I guess test myself, to make goals, to face challenges, to see where I'm at, essentially. Yeah, physical exercise, working out, because yeah, physical exercise isn't just physical exercise. It never is, because it is truly a test of both your physical capacity and your mental capacity, whether your mind and your body are aligned or not. And I believe I might have spoken about this in the first episode. Um, a little bit. I vaguely remember, but yeah, like working out is the simplest way to test yourself physically and mentally at the same time. Now, it doesn't have to be that way for everyone, but at least for myself, that's where it started. Um, Started with workouts, and then it stopped. And then the kind of way I um not really rebuilt, maybe reformat, yeah, the way I kind of reformatted my my goals, my growth, and my challenges, I had to start with my sleeping schedule so that I would be able to, you know, have have enough time to do everything properly. So yeah, for me, I applied these things with my priorities. So I had to get my priorities in order. I had to fix my sleep, and I had to work out. So those are kind of the main things for myself as to what I did. I mean, of course, there are other things, but in terms of like the start, like the very start, yeah, it was those things. It was the workouts, it was the sleep, and the priorities. And well, yeah, these could work for you as well, and how you could apply these things. Um, yeah, you definitely should take some time to think about these things. Um, to kind of align yourself with, uh, yeah, align yourself with the why of why you would do this. Um, and if you don't have a reason why, then find a reason why you should do this. Find a reason why you should have goals. Find a reason why you should face challenges head on, or face challenges by working your way around them. Um, yeah, so I guess priorities then. And for yourself, it doesn't necessarily have to be working out. But at least for myself, that's what I found to be the easiest, the easiest way to test yourself. I mean, yeah, I said it before. It is absolutely the easiest way to test yourself, and it's great. It really is great. It's gruesome. It's a gruesome process, but you gotta trust the process, right? Um, yeah, it starts from that step, because you can think about making all this progress. You can think about it as much as you want, but taking that first step is truly where everything begins. Um, and yeah, so what could these experiences and these thoughts do for you? Um, yeah, well, at least like I said, for myself, I've come so far, in regards to what I was like, just being such a negative person, someone so cynical towards life, towards everyone around me. I wouldn't say I was hostile, like I was, retaliating to people or whatever. Um, but I definitely had like a lot of trust issues. I had a lot of I had a lot of just issues that really didn't matter, or at least issues that should not have mattered. Um, and I made them a big deal when they just really weren't. And it could be the same thing for you, where you can experience this change, experience what you're capable of, experience what it is that you are strong at, and what you're weak at, and experience the feeling of understanding yourself, and finding your limits, finding your bare minimum, and finding your maximum of what you can do, and yeah, whatever you can do right now. And it really is really helpful, that's for sure. Because yeah, like, I mean, what's there not to be helpful with these things? There's a lot, yeah, there's a lot to say. But yeah. All right, now what could these things do for those around you? It could do the exact same thing. Exact same thing. Now, I don't want to like be lazy about it and just say, it's the same for everyone. whatever. But I mean, we're all different people. We've all walked different paths in life. We all had our own journey, our own races. And we could all be going a different direction with this. All be understanding things differently and be going in different directions. But yeah, like I say all the time, there is huge potential there's just huge potential for good to come out of this. Huge potential. And who knows, by the end you might be a completely different person, like myself. I can, when I think about what I used to be like in high school and coming out of high school, I was so different, so immature. I mean, I'm still immature, but I'm more like, I've got a really good balance of mature and immature, as well as positivity. I'm a lot more positive, but also a lot more immature and mature at the same time, if that makes sense. But yeah, no, back then, I was just negative. People might not have seen it, but yeah. Oh man, I not really despise myself, but I mean, I can understand myself and kind of where I was at the time. But I mean, like, oh man, I used to be like that. Like, oh dude, that's so weird. That's so gross almost. No, I'm not hating on myself, just to be clear. But I'm just like, oh man, so different. It's just, yeah, it's just weird. But yeah, there's always that potential good, but I would always much rather look at the potential good of things than the potential bad. Because in reality, there is always that potential bad. Of course, I'm not naive to these things. But, if you're more focused on the potential good that you can do for yourself as well as for others, then that'll be more likely to come to pass than constantly thinking of the potential bad and all the negative outcomes that could, come out of anything, really. But yeah, I mean, okay, so I feel like this is a good time to call it. I feel like this episode might be a bit shorter than previous ones. Who knows? Who knows how much I'm going to cut out of this, really. I feel like I might cut out quite a bit. But you never know. You never know how much I'll cut out of this. Yeah, I think it's time to call it a day. Call it an episode. As not many people would say. Yeah, now that I think about it, I don't think a lot of people would say, let's call it an episode. I don't think a lot of people would say that, but you know what? It is what it is. Yeah. Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you have a lovely day. I love you all. Take care and goodbye. All right. Hello. It is post-edit Aaron. Coming back, as always. I hope you enjoyed that episode. And for this topic, I don't know if I mentioned it. I forgot already. If I mentioned this, but I will be talking about this again in the future. And yeah, like the other ones, I will be covering this again. I don't know how long into the future, how close or how far into the future it is. It'll come around. It'll come around eventually. And as always, I will be leaving a lot of links in the description, a lot of different things in the description. Feel free to like and subscribe. You don't have to, obviously. But I would really appreciate if you did. And like I say all the time, feel free to support me also in my social media. I don't use it that often, I'll be honest, but I will try my best in doing those things. Yeah, with all that being said and done, I hope you all enjoyed this episode, and I hope to see you again, or at least I hope you hear me again. Yeah, hopefully you're someone I can meet in the future, or someone I've already met, and hopefully we can catch up sometime. Alright, yeah, with all that being said and done, I hope you have a wonderful day. I love you all. Take care, and goodbye. I'll see you all next week, everyone. See ya.